Hi everyone, Gabesta here again with another Starcraft 2 commentary guide. As you can see by the loading screen here, this is a guide for the Rush Defense achievement, which is one of the challenges in the single player. And this is just a guide to show you one of the methods to get gold on this achievement. And this particular run is also a perfect run. There's no unit losses. This isn't exactly the hardest of the challenges. I'm sure most people are able to get gold on their own, but just one of the ways to do it. The first part is pretty simple. To start off, you basically immediately move down one worker and he'll begin building a barracks here at your ramp, and then shortly after that, only maybe 3 or 4 seconds, you want to get a second one down and start building supply depot there. Because of the size of this choke here at the ramp, it's going to take 3 buildings. You can't even do it with just 2. And because the barracks takes so long to build, you can't really wait for bunker. So you can do like an engineering bay and a supply depot and a barracks, but just because it's 25 minerals cheaper, I found it was easier just to use 2 supply depots. So as you can see, the timing is such that the guy that does the supply depot will finish just before the barracks. So this guy that built the first supply depot should also build the second one, and that should be about halfway complete by the time the Zergling rush comes. From there, keep both those SCVs that were down here kind of in the back. Make sure as they're building you use your Q, and let me back it up here if I can show you. So yeah, that Q there, make sure it's basically telling the SCV to move out on the back side of the buildings when he's completing them, and that way he should come out in the back and not get attacked by these Zerglings. And from there you just use them to repair. You can use the auto repair just by right clicking that, but it's probably easier to also manually repair the buildings that are a little bit more in danger. And then of course just build Marines as soon as your barracks is up, and just keep building Marines out of this single barracks is fine. Also keep your SCV production up. You can get your orbital command as well. Don't forget your mule just to up your minerals, although really none of this is necessary. All that you really need is this wall and this single barracks, and you don't even really have to build any more SCVs. So once you got 2 or 3 Marines out, you really don't have to worry about repairing even. You can keep your SCVs there, but I just happen to move them back just to kind of practice my macro. But if you do that, one of the bunkers might get kind of low, so just be careful of that. But really at this point there's no risk to you at all. And I'm not quite sure if using a building counts as a unit lost for this. Probably does. So if you're really trying to maximize the challenge, then watch these buildings. So the final rush is 8 Zerglings, which is pretty much nothing because you should have about 5 Marines at this point, and they'll easily hold it off. And that's the first half of the challenge. So you'll continue and you'll move on to the second half. And I'm going to pause it here to quickly explain the strategy. Now this is sort of you can call it cheese if you want. I don't really like the term, but whatever. But basically I found that normally you can do this achievement by building just your structures in your base like you kind of are expected to, and do just fine. You won't lose any units if you do it quickly. Get your bunkers up and all that. But what I realized is I was messing around with trying to kill this worker and see if I could kill these buildings early on before he'd actually build stuff and all that kind of thing. But of course this cannon defends the worker, and you can't attack this gateway with this cannon up. But what you can do is this worker's script will tell him to build this gateway and then a pylon here. Then he'll build another gateway up here a little bit later, and then he'll build one up here after that. But the way it works is if you hinder him from building this gateway, not only will he not build it, but he won't build this one up here that follows. So then I started messing with that strategy and found that it actually really hinders their zealot production because they're just building on a 1 gateway instead of 3. So it makes it even easier, basically. So to do that you have to be really fast, because you're going to end up basically building buildings forward. Normally they'd be further back in your base. So as soon as this part of the challenge starts, immediately take an SCV and start building a barracks right here, just as quick as possible. And then the next set of SCVs that come in, grab one of them, like this guy here, and move him down to around about this position, just to the right of the trees, and just tell him to hold position or chill there. And that's the area that the script is set to build a gateway. So if you have a worker there, it blocks the building and he won't do it. And that script runs every 30 or 45 seconds. So as long as there's something there at that moment when he's trying to run the script, then nothing will be built. So eventually what you'll do is, once this barracks is complete, and I'll slow it down here just so you can see, you want to immediately build a marine, so that's started, and then as fast as possible start building a bunker with this guy. The only thing about the bunker is make sure it is not against this edge, so that if needed you can actually run all the way around it, which you'll need later. Then you take the SCV that was building the bunker and queue him so he moves down here, and these guys will be used to repair the bunker later on. Meanwhile, just keep building up SCVs. When you get around 16 or 17 supply, you're going to want to throw down another supply depot. So I just do that up here. And at this point, the first zealot is out. And if... let me pause it again. If both your workers are kind of on this side when the zealot attacks, usually he won't attack your workers. But if he does, just obviously just run them around. However, the script will immediately go for a marine as soon as it's in range. So be ready for that, and just take your marine and run him around until the bunker is complete. Then hop in the bunker, and I'll show you how that works in a second here. So you can see I'm just kind of running around. Meanwhile, continue building marines and workers. I don't really worry about an orbital command on this one, but you can if you want. And let me back up here to show you this. So one thing is, if you enter the bunker such that the zealot is on the right half, if your SCVs are on this right half and the zealot is on the same side, when you enter the bunker, the script will automatically target these nearby workers. However, if you wait until the zealot is on this far side, so the bunker is between him and the workers, then the zealot will just attack the building rather than the workers, even if you're repairing. So just watch for that. Try to wait until the bunker is done and the zealot is on the left side away from your SCVs before you enter, like that. And then as you can see, he'll just ignore these repairing SCVs. Even if he attacks them though, it's not a big deal. Just run them away. And as soon as you stop repairing, if they're aggro on the worker, he'll go back to the bunker. And at this point it's pretty much just a walk in the park. Just keep pumping out marines. If you want to keep practicing your macro, of course, you can get an orbital, keep up with your supply depots, throw down another barracks, that kind of thing. But all you really need is 3 or 4 marines in this bunker, and then some SCVs to repair. And what's cool about this strategy, obviously, is because we blocked the gateways, then there's only 33% of the normal zealots, and this bunker puts marines in range of both these pylons, which they will attack before the gateway. So obviously once both pylons are dead, then production stops in the gateway. Also the cannon, of course, is unpowered, and then you just clean up. So it's kind of a cool strategy just to really speed up this achievement and just kind of challenge yourself a little bit more. So anyway, that's pretty much it. From here we're just bringing in all our marines and finishing off the buildings. And of course gold only takes completing this with 9 or fewer units. So killed, so it's not too bad, but if you want to try for a little bit harder of a challenge, you can go with something like this. And that's about it. Good luck, and thanks for watching.